Is it okay if I ask you how you lost your vision? Yes, yes, it is okay. I get this question so often, and it's always phrased so delicately because people are always worried they're going to hurt my feelings. They're worried they're going to step on my toes or bring up really painful memories. And you know what? It is a painful memory how I lost my vision. It is hard sometimes, but you know what? I always answer the question based on the way that I'm feeling in the moment. And if I'm ready to take the time and give you the full story, I will. But if we're in a really busy, crowded area and I don't want to take that much attention from the conversation, I'm just going to give you a quick answer. And that's fine because there's nothing wrong with your curiosity. It's not offensive to be curious. It's not offensive to ask a genuine question. And if someone gets angry at you because you asked them a real question that you really wanted to know the answer to, that's them. That's not you. So I will go ahead and answer the question now. When I was 19 years old, just after my husband and I had gotten married, I developed Pseudotumor cerebri. So what that means is that after I took birth control pills, a few months later, I got a lot of headaches and I was carrying a bottle of Tylenol around with me. I was really confused what was going on, but I was planning a wedding. I just thought I was stressed. My grandfather had just committed suicide the year previous, and I was just under a lot of pressure, and I was taking college classes, so it just kind of made sense to me that my body would feel sick. I didn't think that much of it. But when we were on the way back from our honeymoon, I got a headache that wouldn't go away. I had it for 2 weeks straight and Tylenol wouldn't touch it. When I tried to go to class, I'd stand up and I'd vomit. And I was having trouble just making it through a day. I was in so much pain and I was so miserable. I finally went to the doctor, but she didn't think there was anything wrong with me. She told me I was just stressed, reaffirming what I had thought a few months earlier. There was nothing much wrong with me, and I just needed to calm down, get a massage, and if I insisted, if the pain continued, she could get me an MRI. But I went home, I cut some college classes, ended up cutting all of them because of the stress, and I just waited. But unfortunately for me, the pain did go away. The headache stopped, and I realize now is because the tissue died. See, the way that pseudotumor cerebri works is your body starts making too much spinal fluid. This can be caused by birth control pills. This can be caused by other medical issues. But it pretty much exclusively happens to women in their 20s who are overweight. You know, the same women who take birth control pills. And that can cause all of this pressure to build up internally. It's also called intracranial hypertension. And what it did is it put so much pressure on my optic nerves, and my eye nerves just went kaput. They didn't work anymore because they'd been squished to death. So after finding another doctor, they tried a couple treatments, they didn't work. Eventually they ended up placing a VP shunt, and all that did was save my light perception. My vision had continued to deteriorate from about August to December, and by New Year's I had almost nothing left, but they couldn't do anything anymore. And that's really hard to explain to people at a dinner party or at a Bible study. So often I just say, yeah, I lost my vision a few months after I got married. I had pseudotumor cerebri. Can you pass the chips? Because it's really hard to tell my story without just taking all the oxygen out of the room. And it's not something that I like to do very often. As attention-seeking as I am in my personality, that's not the way that I like to do it. So most of the time I kind of bypass the question and give a short answer, but it is something that it was like a year of my life. So it's really hard to explain that in a short way, and it's really hard to tell it without any of the emotions. So I just do the best that I can in the time that I have, and I hope that the answer was helpful for people.